What is going on, YouTube? This is your boy Vinny Balls Official, the Beast from the Northeast, bringing you another Watch Dogs 2 video. So when I first started playing Watch Dogs 2, besides realize the fact this was a really good game. There's a lot of trolls down there trying to talk down on it, but one of my top priorities once I got into Watch Dogs 2, did the missions, did everything that I had to, was to visit Alcatraz, because I always heard stories about Alcatraz. I've seen a lot of shows like that were about Alcatraz history-wise and everything else. So me and DLG definitely had to check it out. Alcatraz. So Alcatraz being, if you guys ever heard of the notorious mobster Al Capone, he was prisoner number 85 of Alcatraz Island. I believe that was back in like 1945. Now, it housed such prisoners as, of course, Al Capone, the famous mobster, the Birdman of Alcatraz, who was convicted of a crime back in 1916. Then he was sent to Alcatraz to, serve out the remainder of his life sentence for murdering a prison guard. In which he did, and I know a lot of people say well, the Birdman of Alcatraz is there's a reason why they call him the Birdman, because he was in another prison before he got transferred to Alcatraz, and he actually he was allowed to have birds. He started doing studies on it, writing books about it, drawing pictures about it, you know what I mean. But once he got to Alcatraz, he was actually banned from having his feathered friends in prison with him. So that was one of the main things I had to do. And Al Capone also used to play banjo in the band for Alcatraz. Al Capone said, he quoted that he paid the guards off really well, get himself favorable conditions. He actually had a really nice cell. They were all set up. But Al Capone said that Alcatraz was actually the prison that broke him. He said he never seen such a cold, damp, dark prison. There's been many stories surrounding Alcatraz about hauntings, etc. There's been 86. Actually, I believe the prisoners that were there actually did attempt to break out of prison. I think there was about 65 attempts from what I read. And about so many people were killed, and so many people didn't even make it off from the island. This was it was a maximum security prison, away from everything, away from civilization. The prisoners weren't allowed to go outside these walls. Many attempts made, many attempts failed. Although it's written in history books that there was actually 3 prisoners that actually escaped, but they don't have any facts on it. But they I don't know what their names are, but they actually they set up this really really in-depth plan to break out of this prison. Some people say they made it, some people say they drowned in the San Francisco Bay and never made it to land. But on the other side, in San Francisco, they actually found prison clothes and the makeshift raft that they actually used to escape Alcatraz. But anyways, so this is a must. If you guys get playing this game, besides it being a great game, you know what I mean, that's definitely, you have wanted to visit Alcatraz. They have a full-scale model here, as you can see right now. Me and DLG are just going through these going through the cell block. I think we're on tier 2 right now, and we actually made our way up to the rooftop, which we actually got some really nice aerials. There's a few things that you have to do up there. I think some data that you have to collect and so on and so forth. But it's definitely besides Watch Dogs being worth your time, worth the play, you know what I mean. It's a great game. But Alcatraz is really you got to go and visit Alcatraz. There's so much history, and I just gave you bits and pieces of what I knew, what I read in history books. I'm not sure if it was 100% accurate. Oh yeah, and you'll find this guy just sitting right here on the crapper in a prison cell. Don't even ask me what he's doing there, but he's just kind of there sitting on the crapper. He's not doing anything. Looks like he's just reading a book. So but anyways, Alcatraz closed down in I want to say it was 1972, I believe. Where it was 1960s. Well, either 1968, the late 1960s, or the early 1970s. And I heard there was a Native American tribe that actually took over Alcatraz Island, and they had lived there for some time after the prison had become inhabitable. So you know, you got to hand it to those people right there. You know what I mean? So here we go. We're like up on top of Alcatraz, and you can see like a nice view of San Francisco Bay right there. And those right there off the left side of the screen are actually guard houses. That's actually where the prison staff lived, prison guards and their families, etc. Because when you were on Alcatraz Island, you were there for the long haul. It didn't matter if you're a prisoner or a prison guard or whatever. And there was a lot of dark, you know, mysterious things that had taken place in Alcatraz, and I think that's one of the things that attracts me to Alcatraz. That, I mean, just like the dark history behind it, you know. So Alcatraz, the name of the island is also inspired by birds, which is funny because they actually had like a Birdman there, you know, the Birdman of Alcatraz. In 1775, when the Spanish explorer Juan Manuel de Ayala was the first European to map San Francisco Bay, he named the island Alcatraz, which was eventually anglicized to Alcatraz, which I believe Alcatraz means like, it has something to do with birds. I mean, because I guess at the time when this one character mapped out Alcatraz Island, you know, San Francisco Bay area, there were like certain birds there. I'm not sure what type of birds they were, but that's another interesting fact that you can take with you. Now, as you can see right here, I do have an aerial view going on here. I'm going over the entire you know, the top sky view of Alcatraz. Now, right there is the guardhouses. You can see those a little bit better. This, I mean, for exploration wise, I mean, Watch Dogs 2 has a lot to offer. This being one of the main things that you definitely want to check out if you do decide to play Watch Dogs 2. As you can see, look at this. I mean, you got a full-scale model. It's all there. The water tower, the guardhouse, and you know, the even the you know, the church that the prisoners would attend on Sunday for those who had committed such heinous crimes that they you know, they wanted to be forgiven for everything they did. So of course they had like a church, you know, and everything else. But again, like I said, there was a lot of deep, dark things that take place at Alcatraz. I mean, some paranormal investigators even say that Alcatraz is still haunted to this day, and I've heard it from many people. I mean, if you're into that type of thing, you go to Alcatraz, I guess you could see like a tall, dark, slender figure. They're not sure who it is or who it represents, but yeah. I mean, there was so many murders that took place behind these walls here. And I mean, it got so bad. I mean, the living got so bad. The conditions did in Alcatraz that they had to shut the prison down in 1968. Between 1968 and 1973. I mean, because it lost its funding. First off, you know, they just couldn't. They found no reason to have it around any longer. So they decided just you know, the government like decided just to cut off the funding altogether. Therefore, just like leaving this huge like installation in the middle of the San Francisco Bay, where it still remains to this day. You know, if you've never been to San Francisco, this is probably as close as you're gonna get, because this is as close as I'm gonna get. Probably I'll probably never leave the Northeast corridor of America. But also, you know, I heard from a friend of mine, Blazingfire HD. He's also a YouTuber. He said that I should start doing a lot more videos about like Watch Dogs. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you like to see more videos on my channels about my channel about Watch Dogs 2? If you would, let me know in the comment section down below. This has been a Vinny Balls official production. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I didn't draw it out too long. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. It's Sunday, back to work, back to school tomorrow. But again, like I said, it's been a Vinny Balls official production. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and enjoy the video. And you know, I'll catch you in the next one. All right, peace. Unfortunately, dirt bike's not here. Nope.
Yeah, it is. On my screen, it is. It's blended in, man. Just press triangle. Okay, hang on.
You can use them as like a weapon. Yeah, if we get this much.